Alright, basically I'm demonstrating, I've built several homemade tools over the summer. This one here is one of them that's pretty neat to have in the shop. Basically it's a homemade crank polisher. This fixture here, that's the actual polisher there. I was going to do it attached to the fixture, but I decided that that was too much of a pain in the butt. So basically what I did here, it's just, it can aid as an inspection, a crank inspection center as well, due to the fact that you can roll it over. It's got roller bearings. It's got a gear reducted motor. I'm turning 50 RPM. But the next step, I may just do a wood lathe and make that a fixture as well, and make that a gear reducted, so I can do several other things with that. But I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this here. But basically I'll turn it on. As you can see, the crank, it turns really nice. But you have roller bearings here. I have all my fixtures and tooling in here. It's got all my attachments for this here. Everything's real quick. Drop the crank on. This here also slides back and forth, so however long the crank is, I mean, it's pretty adjustable, pretty user friendly. This crank here is actually in tolerance, so I'm just going to give a rundown. As you can see, I'm running a standard belt, standard crank belt that you can buy from Goodson or any machine shop place. I run a 320 on this first to get any kind of, as long as the crank itself is in tolerance, it's really not an issue. Usually only remove probably half a thousandth, if that. But as you can see, the crank polisher itself is basically like what you would buy, but this thing is all homemade. This motor is basically a motor that I had laying around off of something. I don't know what it was. I took and machined the rollers. Shut that off. Machined the rollers in the lathe. They're made out of nylon, but it has a roller bearing in there. And then this is loosens this up, slides this up and down, so I can change belts out real quick. I forget the RPM on this, but that wasn't real important to me. But yeah, I just took the welder and started cutting up some. I got to get some hand grips here and finish the paint job. But later on, like I said, this is a pretty nice little fixture, but it rides on the bearings. I don't like that it rides on the main of the crank, but typically it doesn't really seem to cause an issue. I mean, you're floating on a film of oil when you're in the bearing anyhow, so not a big deal. But it's just one of the tools that I wanted to demonstrate that it's all homemade, and there's no reason. And I think this year I polished probably 6 cranks. So there's other tools to come, but this was one of them. Thanks.